Welcome back to This Works For Us. I'm Tia Jackson, and this is my husband.
Rashawn, better known as Sean.
And tonight's episode is how we made the journey to the land of the milk and honey.
Which is San Antonio, Texas. Or Texas in general. So it all started many moons ago.
When somebody decided to make a decision.
Without you.
Without me.
So it was something we had to obviously learn. And the crazy thing about how that happened was, obviously we were living in Jacksonville, Florida, and I was training with this IT person to get into IT. And, you know, you wanted to
go back up north.
Be on the East Coast, you know, somewhere in New York, Baltimore, something like that. And I low-key was looking for that too. Tried to find something over there.
Low key.
There was, couldn't be high key because there was nothing there. I tried to stay with my company. There was nothing there for it. So, you know, we knew that was the goal per se. I was in agreement with that, but there was nothing there. But there was two things. Well, one was showing just there, and that was Guam.
Wasn't going to Guam.
But I mean, you called every place Guam.
That does not mean that I wanted to live there.
You know, it just would have been for a little while.
I was trying to get closer to my family. What makes you think I would have
Guam is a perfect place. Perfect place. Either way, that position was there for a long time. It was just
nobody wanted to go to Guam.
Literally, they didn't want it. No. Apparently not. But, you know, in my head, I'm like, okay, I want to get into IT. They wasn't going to create a position where I was currently working. So I was like, well, just kept looking. That Guam was just sitting there pretty too. I was like, man, if I apply, more than likely I'm going to get it, because it was sitting there for
you probably
weeks.
Would never came back.
No, I was going to take a military mindset with it. I was going to do at least, you know, two to 3 years after that, and then try to figure out how to get back stateside.
Trying to figure out, it probably took another 2 years to get back.
No, I would have got back stateside. Probably would have been where I wanted to be. Probably been in California.
Probably been freaking in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Probably went to Guam to Alaska or some craziness.
There's not many up there. Which is a place I want to visit anyway. Not Utah out. I want to visit Alaska. Anyway, so there's a position opens up in San Antonio. I tell the assistant HR director at the time, hey, there's a position in San Antonio. She's like, well, what are you waiting for? Apply. Talked it over with my boss. She signed off on it. I applied.
Talked it over with somebody. Anyway.
Don't start. Nah. But I go and apply for it. And I tell this one about it. What was your reaction to that? I don't remember.
I don't remember the initial reaction about the application.
But I can tell you what my answer was to your reaction.
I don't remember what my reaction was. I probably wasn't happy about it.
But the thing is, I don't even know if I'm going to get it. I just applied
and
for it.
It was like, what, a week? 2 weeks? It wasn't even that long.
It wasn't even that long. I think it was like, I applied for it in December of 2010, I think.
I'm not the year person.
Yeah, well, that is me. So I believe it was December of 2010 or when I applied for that. And then had the interview. It was January when I told you, I got it. And that was
Was it December? Because
yes.
I graduated in 2011.
We graduated in 2011. It was December 2010. Cause I came here.
That long that you was here?
Yeah. I got here January 2011. End of January 2011. But I told you, it was like, I want to say that second week of January 2011. I told you. Yeah. Either way. So with the company, once you've been hired, you pretty much got about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks to get there. And that time came quickly.
Quick.
Now, What, you was gonna say something?
Nope.
You want to add to
Nope.
that?
Go ahead.
Nah. So I was, I didn't know what to expect for the most part. Like telling her that, as far as my reaction to it, I was, sad because obviously you couldn't come with me.
Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, we were not married, and I was finishing college, so I was in my last semester, so I couldn't move if I wanted to. But I wasn't gonna move because I was not married, nor was I engaged, and I already wanted to leave Florida and go back closer to home, but I was not about to move way over here, another additional 16 hours away from my family for no boyfriend.
When I tell you God is good, He is good. He is absolutely wonderful because, as you can see presently where everything is, and probably wouldn't change any of it right now. Would you? No, I didn't think so. But at that time, we did not see how God was kind of setting stuff up. Anyway, but it wasn't a joyous moment that I got the job, and then that was
yeah, it wasn't even like congratulations.
It was telling me, well, you better not. You were telling me like, well, you shouldn't accept anything less than.
Oh yeah, I was too through about the location, the pay,
and the
everything.
pay. Now, mind you, I was working security. Pay was a little low. Even going into that position, they could not put me because there was such a pay difference. They couldn't, I guess, go up to the amount I should have gotten. So I came out here less than 40. Was it? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Man, less than 40.
38 hot.
And you're like, you shouldn't take anything less than 40. I said, well, I'm not chasing the money. I wanted the experience. Fast forward
All
here.
the way in Texas. Anyway.
I couldn't get it here in Jacksonville. But anyway, wasn't chasing the money. But years later, money came, or whatever the case. So that was then. But during that time of me coming out here, I was out here pretty much by myself. I knew one guy. He had worked in Jacksonville before, but he was working at. He moved back out here from there. But either way, from January 2011 up until December. Well, at least for you, until you came out here. My brother came out here that September 2011. Mind you, there's two things about my brother. One, when I was in Jacksonville, I didn't want him to come there. Like, go on about yourself, guy. Do your own thing. And then two, when I moved out here, he had already moved. He had left Jacksonville, moved back home to Bainbridge. Came out here. I think my mom was saying, you should take limo out there. I won't take limo out here. I want to be by myself. Finally, it was the first time in my life outside of, I guess, military, and that way I wasn't living by myself then. From basically January to September, I was living by myself. It was just an experience, but I'd never done that before. But either way, he came out here. But for you and I, from January 2011 to December 2011, I was out here. And when I tell you, God was doing a lot of stuff. It was rough in the beginning for us. There was a lot of on and off. There was some, I guess you could say, in love, out of love stuff. It wasn't great. Our
stars weren't aligning.
Oh no. Everything has not been peaches and cream. As far as from the beginning, like that. So there was a lot of stuff we had to kind of, set aside. Like she was somewhat, focusing on her school and stuff. I was getting my job, getting acclimated being here. What was the other part? We had a moment of where we didn't even talk for a little while. Cause you was already made up in your mind. You was going to Baltimore.
I was getting the heck up out of Jacksonville. That was my goal. It was like you know, I appreciate the lesson that I learned there. I appreciate what God did for me there, but I knew that it wasn't a place that I wanted to live long term. And honestly, I don't know, it wasn't even that I didn't necessarily want to come to Texas just in general. It was just I was ready to get back home, close to my family, what I was used to. And I just had made up in my mind that I was going to go somewhere else. Plus, nobody had thought about Texas. Like,
I had zero thought.
It was never like
Never.
in my thoughts, or, you know, I just never considered it. I mean, before you got the job here, I probably would have never visited Texas. So it wasn't a thought.
It definitely wasn't a thought. I never thought about Texas anything when it came. When I told my mom, she was like, well, you better don't stay out there too long. Make your way back here. I'm not coming back, baby.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah,
Make your way back.
I'm not going back to Bainbridge. I said that when
to Bainbridge, or make your way back to New York. We talk about how we didn't want to come here, and we talk about the struggle it was for our stars to align and for us to get here jointly. But once we made the commitment, or once Sean proposed, really, that's what it was like.
That's another story.
Once he proposed and I said yes, then, you know, we just went full force ahead. But let's take them back down, like just memory lane. Like, okay, so we talk about like this in and out kind of phase that we went through, but I don't think we ever talked about us meeting and us knowing from the very beginning that we would eventually get married. This is going left from our land of milk and honey.
It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
This is how it all began. So we met at a house party.
Memorial Day weekend 2009.
And we were, I don't know, I don't know if I was saved quite yet.
No, you were.
Was I?
I think you had
Like just in the beginning.
In the very beginning, I think you had just already. It was you and one of your friends that invited you to a church. Y'all went and you got saved then, and
so I was new. Fresh.
I was getting back into it because once I had started working. We talking about from the age of 16 to that was like from 98, basically from 98 to 2009. I could probably maybe one hand up until that time, maybe.
You know what this just made me think of? This is super random, but Sean will be the.
I will give you the dates. I will give you the
grandpa
dates.
that'd be like in 1962.
First of all,
when we
wasn't around in nobody.
When the automobile was built.
See, now you know. First of all, I believe the automobile was built in like the 1800s.
First of all,
you said 1960s.
I was just using the example.
It might have been before then too. I don't remember.
He's gonna be telling our grandchildren in 1990. I think it was 92. Yes, that was just a little caveat. Where was we? So we met at the house party. We met at the house party, and it was just Memorial Day weekend, and I went back home, but we exchanged phone numbers, and we basically kept in touch. We talked every single day.
Every single day.
And then a mutual friend of ours, invited me to move to Jacksonville, Florida. Long story short, I put in a 2-week notice and I was out with $400 in my pocket. That's it.
And the story also, she ain't telling you this part. I'm gonna tell both. I'm gonna tell both. Now, she moved down here for 2 reasons. It was for myself and school. In whatever order y'all want to put it in.
I moved to have a better life. That's what I moved. I moved to have a better life.
You sure did. You sure did.
And I did. I got that. And more.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was like months. It wasn't like the next week or anything. It was like months down the line.
Oh, no, well, okay. Since I'm the date guy.
We don't need to go through the whole timeline of 19.
No, I'm just going from the day we met until we kind of, I guess, somewhat made it official, and then you moved here. Met.
This is gonna be like a 2-hour video because we have to talk about when it was
quickly.
84.
May 2009, Memorial Day, met. Around that June time frame, there was some great conversations. I mean, granted, we was talking ever since then of Memorial Day weekend, but got into June. I believe you were saying, "Oh, I really, really love you." I said, "Oh my goodness, I could not believe this." But no, we actually fell in love with each other over the phone. Over the phone, there was no physicality, none of that stuff had taken place. It was we built a solid friendship foundation, and that's how we knew it was real. I knew that I was gonna marry her from that point. Now, we had some trials and tribulations between that time.
We sure did.
But I knew I wanted to marry her.
So one of the cool things when I first got to Jacksonville, and this was kind of like a weird moment for both of us, but as we look back on it, it's really pretty cool. We decided to have like a date, and we went to the boardwalk on the beach, and we were just walking and talking, and there were like.
About 5, 6?
Yes, about 5 or 6
random.
couples randomly came up to us and told us what a beautiful couple we were, and like just stopped and talked to us basically, and we were like, how weird is that? Like, who does that? Like, have you ever experienced something like that? It was like, okay.
It was weird. It was truly weird.
But I think that was kind of like our insight on like that God put us together. It never felt like, it was just a person that you met and like we were dating and we were going to be together. Like, it always felt like God put us together. Mm-hmm. Even though like we were super early in our Christ journey. Yeah.
We couldn't even stay, even during the time we were like separated, right? We still remained friends. Like, you had a situation, I had a situation, whatever the case. We were still going to church together. But, it didn't matter what was going on, we had to talk. It was that strong that we just had to talk. That, like I said, that friendship, that foundation we set, it was nothing that could break it. It almost got broke back when we got here though. Coming out here, when we didn't speak for like three weeks. You went to the family reunion in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant like when we got here. I'm like,
no, not when you all got. It was before, when I got here first, then you came later. Yeah, I had like a little come to Jesus moment in June of 2011, like in Houston. I went there with P. Went there to that, and I was like.
I was too good with him, y'all.
Oh, I almost didn't get this.
I was too good. I came to visit Texas, and Sean was acting like the stinking. I don't know. But he had a bad attitude. He had a bad attitude that weekend. Now, mind you, it is 16 hour drive from Jacksonville, Florida, to San Antonio, Texas, and I drove 16 hours. By myself, well, with Mac, right? Mm-hmm. With Mac, the dog. When I got off of work, I just got in the car and drove. And when I got here, this fool had the nerve to have an attitude. So anyway, by the time I was driving home, I was like, listen here, but you could count on the fact that I will not be making this drive no more. And I think that's when we didn't talk for a little while.
We didn't talk for a little while, but it was, man. I was saying, like, God was really working on my behalf, her behalf. I had to do some, I wouldn't say it, well, I'm about to say something like I was like, man, you got to do some crazy stuff. No, it wasn't that. I just had to prove my love to her from out here while she was there. So we had to do long distance for a little while.
We also fasted and
prayed and
about the relationship and us being together, and so once God solidified that, everything was smooth sailing from there.
Yep. Then the engagement happened that September because somebody said, "Well, I ain't coming out here without no."
Listen, I was dead set.
No commitment.
No ring.
I said
no tear.
So basically, I'm in a rock and a hard place. Nah. It was my pleasure to put that ring on.
It wasn't an ultimatum. It
wasn't.
I'm just
saying. It was just the facts.
Yeah.
It was just the facts. So what I do, smart man I am, put a ring on that thing. Brought it on out here. Brought it home.
And the rest
is history.
It's history.
And we are loving every bit of being here in San Antonio, Texas. When I first left Jacksonville, I hope y'all don't feel offended. I did not miss Jacksonville. I still don't miss Jacksonville. I don't miss it. I miss the people. Some of y'all that are there, if y'all are cool. But me missing Jacksonville, Florida.
You know what I miss about Jacksonville? If I
you know what? Yeah,
miss something, is the beach.
The beach and the parks that we was able to sit at.
The water really.
Man, we had.
That was our.
You talking about some good conversation?
Yeah, we would just go to the water and talk.
Oh,
and our place was really the beach. Like, we would go to Daytona a lot.
Watch the fireworks there.
Yeah, watch the fireworks on the weekends. So it was a nice little drive, a little getaway to kind of hang out. So that was our place that we would go to just meet and hang out.
Yeah, Daytona was fun.
So if I had to say I missed something, it would be the beach, because we didn't really have that.
But back to my point, I didn't miss Jackson. I don't miss Jackson. When I left driving there, it wasn't like one of those like, oh well, I'm gonna miss it. It was literally like, how a sitcom would end. You would think it'd be like one of those like Fresh Prince, where, for example, you just look around the set, like, well, this is it. No, I didn't even look in my rearview. Kept going. Just kept going. And there's nothing against Jacksonville. I enjoyed my time there, but it never truly felt like home to me. I was there for many years. Now it'll still have a place in my heart for sure, because that's where I met you. Found out how I was gonna get into my career that I'm in now, and I mean, it was just a lot happened in Jacksonville for all this to happen.
You know what? Jacksonville is like, and this is terrible. Jacksonville is like a little file that I put away in my file cabinet.
For you.
And I don't really think about it much. I mean, the truth of the matter, it was a blessing. It didn't feel like a blessing in the middle of it. It was just a season in life where I learned to grow up, really make hard decisions, make better decisions. So I wouldn't change it for anything. No. It was definitely a blessing, but I don't choose to go back in my memory bank and think about think about it all the time.
Well, you just had a 2-year stint for the most part. I was there for years. I was there
2 years. It did not feel like 2 years, but it felt like a long.
But you know what? We've been here, basically 10 years now. December will be 10 years for you, but it don't even seem like we've been here 10 years.
It doesn't even seem like we're gonna be married for 10 years.
Yeah, November.
Like, when I tell you, when we say, like, it feels like yesterday that we got married, like, that is such a true statement. Like, we don't every year that goes by, it's like, it feels like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, it's been this long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just get, it's like when they say, like, I guess wine gets better with the age, right? Like, our marriage
age, like fine wine or whatever.
Like, our marriage just gets better with age. Like, we grow.
Would you say cheese too? Age cheese?
Ooh. So, doesn't it start to stink? Yeah. I don't know. But it definitely gets better, and we grow closer. And you know, for a lot of people, COVID was rough. You know, in general, it was rough for everybody. But like for us, it was great because we got to spend every day together in the house. Like, it drew us closer together, not further apart. Right. So again, this just goes back to like God really being in our marriage. Like, this is not something that we put together. Like, He put us together, and we see it in our daily lives.
And it would have been something like people I've talked to before, even her, like, it was some stuff that either one of us never would have put up with at all. I was like, you, what? Deuces. I'm out. But God, I'm telling you that what He did for us and how our relationship and stuff has been, nothing short of amazing. Nothing short of amazing. And I can't help but to thank Him for that.
I mean, it's just everything. He shows up in every nook and cranny of our lives, and so we can only praise Him and thank Him for it every day. Like, I literally wake up in the morning and say, thank you for my life, thank you for my husband, thank you for my children, thank you for the blessings that you have, you know, given me. Just thank you for being in my life and guiding me the way you have. Like, without you, I don't know where I would be. And so, like, I'm extremely thankful and humbled.
And that's why we're here in the land of milk and honey. Everything has been just been great, and again, we just give God all the glory for it. So
that's our time. I hope you enjoyed our story to the land of milk and honey. We love you. We appreciate you. We hope that you like our video, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
See you later. Thank you.